Hello, I'm Kevin Johnson, and in this video I'm going to show you how to take a strawberry plant, use the mother plant, the runners from that, to create a daughter plant. So this is my 3 by 3 foot section of strawberries that I planted last year. You can see they're thriving already this year. I've already collected enough to cook some strawberry jam this year. I did a cook and chat and shared that out with everybody. That's on my channel, you can check it out. But today we're going to focus on trying to make a new strawberry plant from the existing strawberry plant. So the mother plants, what they do is they have these runners, and they're a stolon, kind of like the same thing as on a potato plant. And that runner will go out and it'll form roots there, and that'll create a daughter plant. It's basically a clone of the mother plant. Okay, you can see what I've done here is I've just taken a little cup here. This is one of the biodegradable plant starter, like a seedling starter. Just use that to hold some soil. Used a little garden clip to kind of keep this in place. And I pinned the runner there so the wind didn't blow it over, and it's not that sturdy, so it's got knocked over a few times. And it survived that pretty well. So what I'm doing is trying to put this down into the soil to promote it growing a root. Let's see our success with this one. All right, if we unclip that, let's take a look. All right, no luck with that one. So I'm not gonna get this perfectly every time. Let's test the other ones. I did about 10 of these. So we'll check to see which ones actually produce some roots. Okay, you can see here this one, it has a runner. I had already filmed this earlier, and then I realized that my phone had overheated and not filmed it. But you see I snipped it here, so this was a runner from a mother plant. And I pulled it up gently, and you can see we have the roots there for the new daughter plant. So I'm going to transplant this over into a planter, and we'll continue letting that grow, and we'll have a new strawberry plant growing. And this one already has a new runner coming off of it, so that will be a new daughter plant. See, it's already starting to thrive a little bit, so we need to get that one into the ground, let that one be a new daughter plant from this one. Okay, so in the garden I showed you clipping the first one. This was the one that I had pinned, and I learned some lessons there. I had about 9 or 10 other ones pinned down, but what I found out was most of those didn't actually form roots. So I'm thinking those weren't the actual runners that have the roots like this one. I'm thinking they were just regular stems of the strawberry, and they would produce leaves, but they're not going to produce limbs. See how this one, it was a runner coming from the mother plant, and it's already got another runner coming off of it. So once I knew what I was looking for, I looked around in the strawberries and I found this one. I clipped off another runner, and you see this one is starting to form some little roots here, and it has another runner going off. So I can use that one to start a new plant. And then I looked around and I found 3 other ones that look like, I think that's what these are. So we're going to test these out a little bit earlier in the process and see if those will form roots and start new plants. So the goal is to put that into this strawberry planter. I have some marigolds I'm trying to add to the garden, trying to find a good spot for those somewhere. But this is the top level of the planter. So what I want to do is start my strawberries up here. I've already got some good soil in here, got it ready. I'll dig a little hole there, and we're going to transfer the new little daughter plant in there. Get that pressed down and ready to grow. And we can keep this watered and find a good spot for it in the sun. This is on the top level of it, so this is one that I have to kind of like turn every day so that all parts of it get sun. All right, so we got that one. Let's go ahead and do this one on the opposite side. So we'll go ahead and clear a little hole for that one. Get that one planted nice and deep in there. Let the roots have a chance to really reach out and thrive in there. And then what I'm hoping to do is, since this is a multi-tier planter, these runners can go down to the next level and have a place that I can plant roots there and just continue that down for the whole planter. All right, so then we have this one. See, and this was the end that was coming off of the mother plant. So this will be the part that's the new daughter plant. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just set that in the center in case it is able to pull any nutrients from there. We'll make a little hole here, and we will plant the daughter plant right there in the soil. and just let that start growing up from that point. And we'll do another one over here on this side. And again, not an expert on this, just I have strawberry plants and I'm trying to learn things. So thought I would give this little experiment a try. See if I can get some new daughter plants from my mother plants and continue to grow my strawberries. And if this works, then I will have new strawberries growing in this planter before too long. There we go. I should hold it in place until it has the chance to form some roots. All right, so that looks pretty good. All right, this one will continue to go down and I'll find another home for it to grow. So then the next step is to add that onto my planter. Actually, let's go ahead and add this last one in there. And this one looks like it has one that's starting to grow off the side, so maybe that one has a good chance of thriving. We'll add that one over here on this side. Actually, with those up like that, I'm thinking that's not gonna work. Here, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna dig a little trench here. I'm gonna lay that down in there. This is nice and secured. That's nice and secured. And there we go, that's better. Yeah, so I'm gonna have a little trench in there. We'll snip that one off a little bit shorter. And we'll just have that all in there, ready to grow. We'll do the same with this one. We'll clip that one off a little bit. All right, so now we got our plants under there. The leaves sticking out, and they will hopefully start thriving. The roots will start growing. And then the two that are a little bit more, I don't know, more settled in. This one already has some buds starting on it. And we'll have some runners coming off of that hopefully we can create new daughter plants from this. You see this is the top tier. There's a little pole down the center that kind of holds everything in place. And these just stack on top of each other. There's a hole there that'll just guide this down onto the others. Well, until I'm trying to do it on camera, and then it's not going to work. Yeah, there we go, a little off. Okay, so then that just secures down like that. So then we have spots where we can have the next little runner go into the tier below. Actually, the way I was planning to do this was herbs and some teas on these alternating levels, and then have the strawberries kind of go straight down from each of the top sections. So they'll each have 3 sections, and I have other things growing around there. We'll see how that goes. I'm not sure with the length of the runners, if that makes sense for them to be able to reach down that far. It seems like their length is more tiered to go down about that far. So thinking that may be the better alternative. Since my teas and herbs haven't started growing, I think I may plant that one into this spot. Get that one growing in there. Get that down in the ground so the roots will have a chance to start growing into that soil in that little planter section. And then this one can just tear down to the next one. And then if we rotate around to this one, same kind of thing. Although in this one, I think I have a little something growing in there. So why don't we go this side with this one? This one's supposed to be peppermint, but I've already got some peppermint growing in my herbs. Bring the runner down here, and we'll get that settled in to this little section of the planter. And hopefully that will give us a new little daughter strawberry plant. All right, we'll give that a little test. And then since both of those are on that side, that'll probably be the side that I keep toward the sun, just in case I don't rotate it often enough. Okay, well, thank you for joining me for this little experiment with trying to do daughter plants from the strawberries. We have those successfully planted in a new tiered planter here, and we can just do the runners down to each level as this grows. And please subscribe. Come back for more. I'm going to provide updates throughout the season, let you know how this is going. And here I'll leave my playlist for gardening together and whatever YouTube thinks you might like. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.